wasn't gonna cover it because I don't really like covering other YouTubers like that. But I think that this is worthy of having a conversation about. So this guy, his name is Jonathan Duperton. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Jonathan Duperton. And he had this podcast basically on YouTube, and it was called Finessers Only or Finessers Only Club. And it was also called Rich and Unemployed. And this guy was a admitted former former scammer, meaning that he said that he had ran like a food stamp and all of this other type of stuff, and he had got arrested and he did time for it. And so he called his podcast Rich and Unemployed. Now, he had disappeared for a while and he had started getting some motion. He used to have girls interviewing and stuff like that on his platform, and he had started getting some motion. And so he kind of disappeared, right? And then this popped up on my timeline, what I'm about to share with you guys right now. This popped up on my timeline for his channel. And so check it out.
From Federal Finesse. An inmate at the Robert A. Dayton Detention Facility. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility, your current balance is $3.71. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL. You're I know this is a surprise, and I'm surprised as well. But I mean, it's fortunate, and probably a lot of people are disappointed, shocked, which I am too. This shit happens, and life must go on.
So essentially, what he's done is his channel now has created an AI version of himself so that when he makes his federal phone calls, because apparently he's in prison now, when he makes his phone calls, it'll give an AI version of himself talking on his YouTube channel. I think it's smart. Yep, I agree with you. I think it's smart. But see, the bigger problem that we have here, is we're not really addressing the issue and the problem at hand here. All right. And so what am I saying? What am I having a conversation about? So this is the latest. I'll show it to y'all of what's happening. And so this is basically what's being reported on him. I'll share this tab instead. So it's saying that he has now been arrested for $10 million in PPP loan money and unemployment insurance and fraud scamming, in which that is one of the reasons that he was able to, live the lifestyle and drive the Ferraris and have the chains and all of this stuff. And so, for example, what this says is Jonathan Paul Duperton, aka Anthony Watts, and then it got a bunch of other co-defendants. It's the United States of America versus them down in Atlanta. Obviously, that's where he was hanging out in Atlanta and Miami. Kadir Williams, Emmanuel Duperton, who I'm assuming that that's a relative of his, and Cameron Bell. And it says that the jury charges that beginning in July 27, 2020. So this is right at the height of the pandemic. What did I say? What did I say back then? What was I telling y'all? What was I telling y'all? I said y'all, and y'all kept asking me, Anton, y'all kept reaching out to me, asking me questions. There was different other content creators that was trying to teach y'all how y'all can get y'all PPP loan money and all of this stuff. Anton, should I take it? Anton, should I do it? Anton, should I do this? Anton, should I do that? And I was telling y'all, I said, listen, stay away from that PPP loan nonsense. Don't take it. Man, but everybody else is getting it. Man, but this and that and this is happening. Man, but this is happening, so on and so forth. I said, dog, stay away from that. That is a opportunity for you to get finessed. You are going to jail. And then Biden did what? Biden extended it and he said, listen, we're going to extend it in an additional 10 years so that anybody that took this loan, we have 10 more years to arrest you, even after I'm out of office. We got federal officers that have over 10 years to try to arrest you. And I told y'all, and I warned y'all, and I said it. I said, listen, it's a lot of people out here that all of a sudden they ran into money. They start getting it. Everybody had a Lamborghini. Everybody had a Ferrari all of a sudden. Everybody had an Escalade V in the middle of a pandemic, even though they couldn't work. And all of a sudden, everybody just mysteriously became great business people. Everybody mysteriously became a great business person, right? And I told y'all, and I warned you, and I said it over and over again. I said, dog, stay away from these loans. And if you take one, don't ever call me because I don't ever want to be on your call log. I don't want to be associated with anything that y'all got going on. Unemployment insurance. I don't want to deal with your PPP loan frauds. I don't want to deal with none of that. And so he was now a part of an over $10 million loan scheme, according to the federal documents in the United States of America versus him. They got him at the top of the list. And so when all of these women was on the couch and they was doing, oh yeah, baby, what's going on? How am I spending no money? You know why it was so easy for these niggas to trick on y'all? Because they didn't have to do nothing to get it. They was finessing. They didn't have to do nothing to get it. They was finessing. That's why it was so easy for them to trick on y'all. All of these women, yeah, man, I ain't talking to no man that ain't got it. What you think he got it leaked? What you think he just popped up? He figured it out? He ain't pop up like that and take care of business. He was there because he got it the same way everybody else did. Let me emphasize something else to you guys as we read this. It's okay to be a lame. All these dudes is out here telling you that you ain't nothing. Oh man, you can't unlame a lame. I agree. We real free. It's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to be. When people say that junk about me all the time, you got it. I agree with you. I ain't trying to prove nothing to you. 100%. 100%. I agree with you. I'm never going to voluntarily put myself in the bullseye of the FBI. And then you know what the funniest part about it is? They don't even sit down for a minute. They don't even chill. They don't even stay out the way. They be on the internet. Yo, I'm rich and unemployed. They go to the dealership. They go buy the big cars. They go buy all of this stuff. They don't see. I don't mind showing you my bank accounts and stuff because I show you where it come from. My stuff is legal. They out here talking and showing themselves, and they not even doing it. They didn't even get it the right way. So that's why I talk my stuff. It's like, yo, I really do live it. I really do got receipts. I really did get it. I really did hustle. I really did work. What are you doing flashing and showing all of this jewelry and showing these cars and living this big life? What are you doing? When you go to the bank, now I explain something to y'all. When you go to a bank and you either take out a big deposit or you make a big deposit, and some people that understand how money work. I've actually worked for several different banks in corporate. So one of my jobs was to go and figure out document and understand how every single system works so that we can design it to be more efficient while at the same time meeting the expectations of the federal government as far as what the requirements were for the bank so that they don't get fined. When you go to the bank and you make a deposit above a certain amount or you take out a certain amount of money, it's flagged automatically. And one of the reasons that it's flagged is because they want to know that they do it under the guise of making sure that you're not a terrorist, that you're not funneling money outside of the United States of America to a terrorist group, all of this stuff, right? But they flag it because they want to know how you got the money. what do you do? What's the name of your company? They'll even ask you if you're going to take a big deposit out of the bank right now. I don't care what bank it is. They'll ask you, how did you get the money? What did you do with it? Whatever, so on and so forth. They got to document it. They got to get your license and put all your information in or whatever. Now, if you're doing it legally and you're on top of things and you don't have anything to worry about, it really don't matter, right? When you deposit in the ATM a certain amount, if you keep depositing right under the amount that's flagging it, it's flagged again because they want to know why you're only depositing a certain amount right under the certain amount. If you go to the casino, for example, and let's say, for example, in Michigan, if you go to the cage and you cash in more than $3,000, they have to take out documentation, a document, and say exactly what, hey, okay, so this person is doing more than $3,000. They cash in more than $3,000. You can't be out here moving in the streets and thinking that ain't nobody paying attention because everything is documented. Everything is documented. Everything is going to play out exactly the way that it's supposed to play out. And I'm telling you, it's a lot of people that's still like, damn, I still got 6 more years to try to dodge this federal charge of this PPP loan money. 6 more years trying to dodge this charge. I'm telling you. It's a real thing, bro. It's a real thing. They don't mess around when it comes to that fraud money. That was a finesse money, bro. That's it. The only problem that I'll ever have in my life is trying to figure out how I can reduce my tax burden. Because I can't stand it. And so I study it, I get tax strategists, I try to figure it out, or whatever blows on and so forth. If it ain't about no taxes, if you talking about some fraud money, man, get on out of my face, man. I don't want to be around you, bro. Any nigga that's doing something illegally, don't do nothing with no cars, no bank accounts, no fraud, no none of that. Get away from me, bro. Bounce. 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 Get away from me. I don't want to be tied to you. Get away from me. I don't want to be tied. Let's read it. Let's see exactly what it says. Beginning on and about July 27, 2020, and continuing through or at about April 30th, 2021. So not even a full year. In the Northern District of Georgia and elsewhere, the defendants, and you know their name, did knowingly and willfully combine, conspire, confederate, agree, and have a tacit understanding with each other. And here's the other part. They doing it with each other. You know it only take one nigga to get caught. It only take one dude to get flashy. It only take one person to get messed up, to get jammed up. Everybody now gonna go down. You ain't even doing dirt by your lonely. Knowingly devise and intend to devise a scheme to artifice, to defraud and obtain money and property, namely unemployment insurance benefits, by means of materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises, and by omission of material facts, well knowing and having reason to know, and said pretenses were to be false and fraudulent. And this is February. I guess they arrested him February 25th, 2025. Stupid, bro. Stupid.
Even though I'm in this position right now, I'm still blessed.
And this is what he was doing on his channel.
So you got boutique body, you got filter girls, filter face.
No. Let's start. Let's give them some good. We got like business women, like the corporate type. That's the type. You know what I'm saying? The corporate type. They all kind of. I was born in '89.
Let me say it on camera.
You want to whisper it to them?
And y'all fell for the bait once again. Fell for the bait once again.
Money is a feminine energy. So you literally you have to learn to respect feminine energy, and even you understand that wealth comes heavily through women. I've been able to get into a lot of doors just by having the right women in the rooms with me, bro, because they will. There are 3 different parts of I just be needing to know
It's like a specific date. And I was like, all right, cool. But once I got off that phone, it kind of clarified it, and I went to work. Like if she say my shit coming to June, and when June come, I need to be set for ways for money to come into my life.
Niggas talking about manifestation and all of this other type of stuff. And I'm not even interested in talking about none of this. I don't even like talking about people and none of that. Honestly, my prayer for him, because I want everybody to win it. I want everybody to be successful, bro. My prayer for these people is that they turn their life around, figure out how to do it the legal way and get to it. And stop presenting themselves to be something that they not, man. You know what I'm saying? The message to everybody else, because I'm not on no, oh man, let's go and do. I don't want to do that. I even thought about this for a couple days before I even decided to have this conversation. But it's okay to be a lame. It's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to do things legally. It's okay to have a regular job. It's okay to do the right thing. All this, let's manifest it, and the money's going. Man, listen, that's all nonsense, all bullshit. And I'm not saying that being positive and manifestation, but you also got to put in the work. I don't want nobody coming up talking about, yeah, man, the money is just gonna come. You just got to keep. Fuck, you're gonna end up in jail, bro. You're going to end up in jail. You're gonna end up in jail. Straight up. It's hard enough just having to deal with regular everyday life. And now you want to put yourself in a situation where you got to sit down? I got to sit down for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nah, I can't sit down.